Okay. We're waiting. We're waiting. Yes, what? Oh my God. Ooh. Now, I don't, am I supposed to like say I'm 18 years or older on this I just saw? No, I'm serious. I can't see the thing. I'm trying to find the chat thing. It's not moving. Ah, I can't find it. All right. Okay. Should I do that now? Okay. There it is. I found it. I just don't know it's on. Hi. Hello, everyone. I'm Adrienne King, and you'll probably know me best as Alice in the Friday the 13th original film and a little in part two, maybe for my Crystal Lake paintings and my Crystal Lake wines. I don't know, but here I am. And how are you? Yeah, this is the first for me, guys. It's kind of weird. Oh, great. That's a very complicated answer because part two was right when that was all being put together when I had my stalker just beginning in my world, and my whole life was spinning in circles very quickly. So when I met with Steve Miner, um, it, it, we really didn't know how I was going to come back as Alice and how Jason was going to come back at that point during our first meeting. Um, then I kind of really wanted to, whatever it was necessary, to do it quickly as possible because I really needed some sanity. And stalking was not considered a law in 1980, 81. So therefore, I was kind of on my own. And needless to say, it was all kind of crazy. So I don't know the real answer to this because they knew I wanted to help them as much as possible. But then again, we needed someone who was our nemesis in Friday the 13th, and Jason seemed the only likely character. But I totally agree. I totally agree. How could he possibly find Alice? Not in the yellow pages or hitching a ride. I'm guessing no one's going to really pick him up. Uh, did I answer the question? Yeah, really, right? It's kind of a big old question mark. And as it was presented to me, um, my last meeting before the shooting, I understood it to be kind of open-ended in case I was ever needed to come back. But as you can see, that hasn't happened yet. But then again, we haven't had part 13 yet either. So we'll see what happens. I sure hope so. I mean, let's wrap it up, Let's give it closure at least if we're or let's write something phenomenal and have the series come alive again. I know the fans want that desperately. Whoa, okay. Yes, and you know what? I'm actually looking now. I can see the question. Should I read it? Woo! That's what you were hoping for, right? Yes. She's generationally impaired, but there's still hope. All right, guys. All right. So someone saying, oh, okay. I'm guessing it's Dan Fall 26 is saying Jason has Google Maps built in his mask. That's clever. In 1980, not so much. Okay. Mr. Skeeter Buster, am I supposed to be reading your names, by the way? God, I hope I'm not giving anything personal away here. All right. Did you have any idea when filming the original that it would become the franchise that it has become today? No, absolutely not. Positively no way. As a matter of fact, we were kind of afraid that we were going to run out of money before we finished the film. We had to save up every time we needed an additional camera for the shooting of the final lake scene, and I only had one change of clothes. We didn't have stunt people. We were on bare minimum. So that's kind of how we were just hoping it would get to the screen, you know, hoping we'd have enough money to actually finish the movie. And as you all know out there, then the filming is the production is one part, and then you have the post-production, which costs quite a bit of substantial money that sometimes you have to wait a year or two to finish, but they got the money and they finished it, and the rest is history. You know, it was pretty fabulous. I remember those days so well. We were all kids at basic college age, and just having a real good time on a warm summer day, early September, and just doing what kids do. So we just were having a good time. I'd be sketching Kevin Bacon doing push-ups, and yeah, they were getting all buff for the beach scenes. Harry Crosby and the guy who played Nettie. Now I'm going to go nuts. Oh, please help me. Somebody write it in. Quick. Nettie. Ah! But anyway, he's a New York actor and just was a hoot and a half. And they were just adorable on the beach doing push-ups before the beach scenes. And I'd be sketching, and yeah, I had a good time. Okay. Kevin Bacon. Ah, there it is. Google that. You took a long break. Yes. Did you have any? No. Okay. So I did take a long break. Okay. Yes, you took a long break from being in movies. What was it like taking that time off? Um, I actually was doing voiceovers in a lot of movies. I was a looper. It's the little niche I found after the whole stalking thing, and then going off to London, studying at the Royal Academy there, coming back, doing a little thing, a little role on All My Children, and realizing I had too much anxiety to do on camera anymore. So my agent was wonderful and said, let's get into the looping and the voiceovers. You do it naturally anyway for your own stuff. So if you look on my website, you'll see probably a list of maybe 50, 70 movies that I looped in. But I didn't do it on camera until I retired to Southern Oregon 8 years ago when the Crystal Lake Memories book came out. So that's kind of a very bizarre thing, and that's because all you guys and all the people from the 80s who are now the writers, directors, and producers who create, well, you know, that they kind of resurrected me from the dead. Yes! Mark Nelson, thank you. Somebody was Googling. Thank you so much. Ah, yes, good one. If I could only do more than one thing at a time. Okay, so am I reading this now? Okay. So, Mr. Skeeter Buster, okay, I have to ask the snake beheading scene. Give us the background on that. Very interesting because no one asks about this, and there is a bit of history and intrigue to the whole snake deal. Um, I don't have a huge fear of snakes. Rats, yeah, I don't like rats, but snakes, not so much. So this guy comes to the campsite with his best friend, Mr. Snake, and he's a snake trainer, and he read the ad in the paper or heard the request down at the diner. They're looking for a snake for that movie they're filming in the woods, and he shows up, and all of a sudden the snake is, going through my toes and everything. And this guy's sitting in the corner over in the back watching the whole scene. And they give Harry the machete. And, he does the thing, and it looks great. They set it up. But then, you have to have the kill scene. And I guess someone forgot to tell Mr. Snake Trainer that they were going to kill his best friend, Mr. Snake. And yeah, actually, Sean Cunningham had to step in because Harry wanted nothing to do with it. And Sean struck the lethal blow for Mr. Snake. And Mr. Snake Trainer was crying and carrying his 2 pieces of his best friend out. Yeah. Memories. Okay. I have this. Have you seen the remake? And if so, what did you think? Okay, Swick 55. I've seen little bits of here and there of the remake. I really like Mr. Mears. I think he's a wonderful man. As far as the remake, I'm trying to be very complimentary in the fact that it brought a lot of new blood to the series, to the franchise. And hopefully with their help, we'll move on and actually have another Friday the 13th. So how was that politically correct enough? I'm reading more. Mr. Scooterbuster. So it wasn't Tom Savini. No, it was not. I thought that was the story. Well, that's what happens when you read books by people who actually don't interview the people who are on the set of a movie. That's what happens. But no, it was not Mr. Savini. It was Sean Cunningham. Okay. Who played your favorite version of Jason? So it wasn't. Well, again, that's tough because I go to the show with all these guys, and they all play a different kind of Jason, and I love them all. And let's just say I did love Mr. Brooker's portrayal of Jason. How's that? How many takes did you have to do for the final scene with decomposed boy Jason pulling you out of the canoe? Well, the story to that, and I've told this story quite a few times, so I'll try to get through it as quickly as possible. This is where we had to save up the money for the camera, the different camera shots for the last scene, where he pulls me under or pulls Alice under. Sometimes, I forget who I am. And what happened was the first time we did it was, I believe it was warm. So it probably was about the second week into filming. We had to save up money for a second camera after watching the dailies. It wasn't what Sean had in his mind. He totally knew what he was looking for. So by that time, it was a little colder. The leaves were turning a little bit of color by, I'm guessing, the end of September. And then again, not exactly what he wanted. So we had to save up for the slow motion camera, which took a couple more weeks. So by that time, it was cold. It was 38 degrees that morning as I was sitting on the kitchen table in the cafeteria, and Mr. Savini, Mr. Cunningham, Ari, they were in the water, and the crew was in the water, and I was warming my butt. So that would have been the third time, but within those times, each time was twice, so probably 6 times. Okay. The final fight scene with Betsy Palmer. How many takes did that take? All right, so that took an entire night from the time the sun set to the time the sun rose. An entire cold and bloody night on the beach. And believe it or not, when we moved up here to Southern Oregon and I finally have my own art studio, I found the original notes from that scene that you're talking about here. And there just happened to be 13 of them, total fluke, on a piece of ripped off steno paper that Sean Cunningham had tossed away that morning as the sun was rising. And Betsy Palmer and I were walking off the sands, totally bruised and battered from that night. And I said, oh no, if this movie is not finished, I will at least have those notes and these continuity Polaroids and make a beautiful collage to prove that I was starring in this movie. And that scene we just shot it all night long. And you can actually, the 1 through 13, you can see it. It's freeze framed through these notes that are now on a poster. Because Sean, after I made him a poster and me a poster, he said, make them for the fans too, and let them watch it the way I shot it and freeze frame it. And that's what everyone's doing. So yeah, you can get that poster on my website, or if you see me at a convention, I might have a few left, but it took a whole long night with no stunt people. Okay. What's the most rewarding experience in your career? Wow, that's so heavy. Who's asking me these heavy questions? Oh, that's I think that's LP Dan Fall 26. Okay, you're gonna make me really think. Probably rewarding. As a child, my first real film experience when I was 8 years old, I remember like it was yesterday. And I had such support from, it was Inherit the Wind. And I played Melinda, which is a co-starring featured role. And I played with actors, Melvin Douglas, Ed Begley, Diane Baker, Murray Hamilton. These were actors of like A plus notoriety back then. And the producer and the director, George Schaefer, who picked me out of all of these other 8-year-olds because I think because of my scream again. But anyway, he saw something in me, and all of these people were the ones who said, go for it, because I was like feeding off of them, and I was with them for about 2 months. It was a wonderful process. And so that was definitely the most rewarding experience in my career at that age. And then I had to start all over again. It's like full circle time. I've done full circle like twice already in my lifetime. I think I'm on my third act. Okay, let's see. Broadcaster, indie horror. Hi, Rob. I was just talking about this with my wife. It is cool to know that you'll probably be booked, yes, for some event or another for every Friday the 13th on the calendar for the rest of your life. We said the same thing probably happens to all of the Halloween cast. You're absolutely right. I always joke about the point that no matter what happens in my life, I already know the first line of my obituary. So it kind of goes hand in hand with that. It's a good thing. It's cool. I love meeting my fans. So and I love meeting my happy campers. So what's so bad about that? Here's to all my happy campers. Cheers. This is my favorite, Survivor Syrah. And Lord knows we're all survivors, so cheers to you all. Why, thank you, Mr. Indie Horror TV Man. You can all get my wine through adrienneking.com. It's called Crystal Lake Wines, and you can get them directly at crystallakewines.com. And there's also an 800 number on there that you can call me directly and leave a message. I'm not at the winery. This is hands-on. These hands choose the wine. These lips kiss the grapes, and it's another passion I found. And that came to me so easily. I partnered up with the oldest and finest winery in Southern Oregon. I loved their wines. They loved my movies and my art. They asked me to paint a label, and we got around to thinking, why not use one of my paintings, Alice in Canoe, and test out the water, so to speak. Ah, that was cute. For Crystal Lake Wines on Facebook, and it blew out Valley View Winery's website, so we knew we were onto something. And yeah, that's where you can find them. Thanks. There's and just since we're almost out of Cabernet Sauvignon, we're getting close to the end of Camp Blush. So this is okay though, because that means I bring new varietals in to replace them. I try to keep 4 at a time. We still have some Moonlit Chardonnay, which is awesome. I just had the most incredible pairing this this afternoon. I had some Crystal Lake Moonlit Chardonnay with a toasted bagel and lox. Oh my God, with the cream cheese. I swear to God, it was a great pairing. And then the last one is the Survivor Syrah. So that's 4, yeah. Okay, enough about wine. We all love Friday the 13th, clearly. But what can you tell us about Tales of Poe? I personally am a big fan of his works. Cheers. Dry red, my fave, goes great with a good medium rare steak. Oh, you bet it does. Cabernet Sauv was chosen as by the Oregonian paper. They chose that as their favorite with the steak and pastas. So right on, you know your wines. Yes, Tales of Poe, mine too. I think one of the first books I ever had in my hands as a kid was Tales of Poe, and I remember reading The Telltale Heart and totally falling in love with it. And I was hooked on Poe myself. Then Destiny Calls through Facebook again. This is so incredible with technology that we can all talk like this. I am so blown away by it all. Yeah, so Bart Mastronardy was a Facebook buddy, and he's the cinematographer, the director, the producer. Alan Rowe Kelly is everything. He's the producer, makeup, special effects, and it goes on and on. But Tales of Poe is a trilogy. With the first one is The Telltale Heart, which is already getting rave reviews at the film circuits. The second movie in this trilogy is The Castle di Amontillado, which I believe stars Alan Rowe Kelly. And then Dreams, the poem, All That We See and Seem is but a dream within a dream. Most people recognize that Poe tale, but what Michael Verratti, the poem, did with the poem is created a tale and created a story around it, centered around the dreamer, and she is going through this the dreams and encounters, almost like I like to think of it as almost a journey for as she's going through her dreaming, as she's sick and going through this journey and finding the light or coming back to earth. It's an incredible journey. And I play the Queen of Dreams, and Amy Steele plays the Mother of Dreams, and Caroline Williams, I believe, plays the Angel of Dreams. So it's kind of incredible that Bart could just sell us all just through this little bit of film he had done on Telltale Heart in just post on a little iPad 2 years ago at the Baltimore's Monster Mania. We met up and we all were so in love with his work that we signed on immediately. And it's been a joyful collaboration, probably my joyous of all the incredible work and actors and directors I've been involved with over the past 8 years. There was something just about the camaraderie and just the whole give and take on this set. And it's film noir, so it's all about what's on screen. And if I sound excited about it, I truly am, because I've seen some of it. And it's just so beautiful. It's going to bring the horror film to another level, which is what I've always wanted to see. Instead of it being schlocky, it can be gorgeous. And I know the listeners and the viewers understand what I'm talking about. So yes, I'm very excited about Dreams and the Tales of Poe, and it should be coming out this summer of 2014. It's already slated to be I believe, open at the Castro Theater in San Francisco. But if you Facebook me or Facebook Rob at Indie Horror TV, you'll be posted, or go on my website. I'm sure I'll have all of that up. Okay. Oh my God, I'm flapping. Um, What's the funniest story you have from working in movies? Oh my goodness, funniest story I have working in movies. Jeez Louise. Oh God, you see, I'm so pathetic. I'm not good spontaneously. It was probably one of the, we were, yeah, it was. It was in the girls' bathroom stall at the camp. And it was Janine Taylor and Laurie Bartram, and dear sweet Laurie Bartram, who's passed, and myself, and we were actually brushing our teeth after dinner, ready to shoot one of the scenes, and I can't remember. It was actually all three of them were hiding on top. All three boys were hiding on top of a toilet, and literally like thought they were the funniest thing in the world because we screamed and it was very funny. So that was probably one of the funniest things in the set because it just mimicked the movie so perfectly. If somebody just had a camera in there, it would have fit perfectly into the movie. But it just shows you we actually were who we played. Oh yeah, I'm gonna listen, guys. One thing I want to say is what I'm loving doing these days is my paintings, and you can keep up with my art. And Misty Moon Gallery in the UK actually shows them, and I just want to give kudos to Misty Moon Gallery and anyone listening who's in the UK who can make it down to the Misty Moon Film Festival, because I'm a judge, and Danielle Harris is a judge, and there's a slate of horror queens that are judges. So check out the Misty Moon Gallery, and you can see my paintings, and also on my website. And I'll come back when Tales of Poe is a little bit further along and fill you in on all of that excitement. Oh, great. My pleasure. Really cool. I will definitely. And thanks for understanding about the family situation. Am I still live? Everybody's gonna know if I'm like, whoa, what's the family situation? um, yeah, what's that? Yeah, we haven't seen them in a while, and so we're catching up, and we're gonna go out to dinner and have some good wine. Gee, I wonder what kind. So listen, guys, have a great night, and stay happy campers, and make the most of what's left on this happy Friday. Take care. Peace out.